Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to AER Memories of Old. So, we are paused here. We made it out of the first temple, which may not have been the first temple, and there's supposedly 3 temples, so... And we figured out we can fly. We're kind of in the tutorial mode. So, we also found out that if I fall, I can't... I don't automatically transform into a bird, which seems like an odd mistake. I would have thought at a certain point that would have been exactly what would have happened. So we have a lantern that lets us see things like ghosts of the past, but I feel like that's kind of... Until we maybe go to all 3 temples, we may not have enough. At the very least, on an Xbox controller, the B button doesn't do anything right now, and I feel like the B button should do something. Is this settlement? Let's see. This must be the lighthouse. It doesn't seem to do anything right now. Should I come back later? So, yeah, I really wouldn't have figured that that was the lighthouse. Do we have a map, by the way? I guess we do. And I guess that kind of tells us where we need to go. Although, you know, it's going to be kind of difficult to follow the map even with a compass. There's a checkpoint down here, and there's a lot of bird songs, so I'm assuming that that is this. I see some lights over here, so that might be where I need to go. We were given instructions to find a lady, but we were kind of not instructed where to go and what to do from that. Interesting. And so we got into this new area called Twilight Lake. It's definitely taking inspiration from Skyward Sword. So once you get into a new area, you start to hear different music. And it seems like there's some boost areas where you can find people. Maybe this is it. So I'm hoping that I didn't just walk into a temple that I can't do. One would hope that you'd have some basic... Man, there's no reason why it should take that long to load. This game, by the way, is only like 1.2 gigs, and I have an SSD, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. And getting a lantern at the beginning of a game is kind of nice. Like there's certainly a lot of Legend of Zelda games where a lantern as your first item would have been appreciated. We'll just read this. I can't read this, it's written in a language I don't know, and much of it is broken and almost unreadable anyway. Maybe Midman knows how to decipher it. Okay. Interesting lighting effects and a woven pattern. It's the same for all of them. And all this is a little cave under the lighthouse, and then an incredible load, which the load to getting into this cave didn't even show that animation. That is really too much time. So I said I felt like this game might have been a half-finished product. That load time does scream to me a lack of Q&A. So we have some people who are alive, which these guys still don't really look exactly like my character does. I am going on a pilgrimage, so I assume I'm supposed to be young. But the fashion style does seem like it's kind of all over the place here.
Yo.
Hello, Ark, and welcome. What was that noise we heard? What? You made it out okay? I'm John. By the way, Dainia and I take care of the lighthouse here on the island. We try to make sure nothing weird happens in the land of gods. Not an easy job considering all the strange old ruins and wonders here. I haven't had much time to visit them since Erin was born, but I don't mind. I think she longs for adventure, which makes her father proud. If you have any time, I'd recommend going to the Windsong Falls. When the world was whole, a water spirit combed her hair at that stream there. Beautiful hair at that. The wind sang to make her hair flow down until it mixed with the clouds. Thus the rainbows was born. Now that not that I've ever seen one there myself, but it's a nice story. Anyway, you can find a place just north of here. Continue beyond the clouds. So that doesn't add anything to our map, and I kind of feel like this map is the entirety of the map. It's also kind of odd the way this map is working. You can't zoom in or zoom out, it seems. Now, I saw a couple of ghosts and at a campfire, and one of them said we needed a bigger island because our baby was being born. I wonder if maybe the ghosts are not ghosts of like dead people or memories of dead people, but perhaps just memories in general, and it might have been memories that they had, which then opens the door to an interesting idea of maybe I'm all alone and I'm hallucinating all the interactions. I suppose if I were a magical creature that could turn into a bird and fly and float, I would just float every now and then too. Oh, you're alright, Auk? It was Auk, right? We heard rumblings from Kara's Shrine. I'm so glad you made it out. My name is Diana and welcome. It was a long time ago we had a pilgrimage here. Your mentor Midvin was actually the last one before you. My parents helped him back then. Now I, John, and our daughter Erin will help you. If you ever feel lost, just return here and talk to us. We are here to guide you after all. Every pilgrim's journey requires a visit to the 3 temples in the land of gods. Kara sealed them a long time ago, right after the Great Divide. There's a sigil in the ground close to each temple. That's where we gather to pay our respects to the spirits. And so you too should go there. Sacred words are revealed to those who approach with an open mind. The Evertide Sanctuary is closest, and you'll find it northwest of here. Okay, cool. And we're definitely getting the feeling that there's probably only like 5 people we're going to deal with in this whole game. Now if I pull this out and talk to her, yeah, it's just going to be the same responses. Ak, that's your name, right? Right? What happened? Did you see any ghosts or spirit animals, treasures, secrets? So I guess there are spirit animals, treasures, and secrets in this game. I want to explore too. It's so unfair that I'm stuck on this island. Sometimes I go on adventures with my parents, but it's still adventures. We once met a super awesome place. It's up north. It's kind of snowy. With this huge statue. It's kind of broken, but it's still cool. My name is Aaron, so you know. Let's see. Wish I was a bird shifter too, so I could fly wherever I wanted. Let's see. I'll have a great adventure like you and find out things. And I'll visit more statues and ruins too. Oh, okay. So it's the same thing, it feels like. Every time you talk to people, you'll get the initial conversation, and then maybe you'll get a secondary conversation. And I'm kind of not in the mood so much to... let's see. This is just drawings on the wall. Not really in the mood so much to actually wander and read all of that. This is quite often I find in games a little voice acting can do you a whole lot of good. There's apparently a whole lot of sheep around here that seem to want to keep their distance. Here's an axe. Pick it up. Now we've got a weapon. Are these supposed to be trees that have been cut down? It's not really what they look like. They look more like they are some kind of woven fabric. These look like trees that have been cut down. So you run into an issue, and this was an issue I think in Skyward Sword 2, where you have a case of the game shifting perspective pretty dramatically when you're on the ground. The world becomes pretty large. I guess I'm in a field of corn. It's just being animated pretty badly. There's like a grasshopper. But finding these sounds doesn't seem like it does anything. This feels a lot like a part of the game The Witness, where there was all of these audio puzzles, and then it was pretty difficult to figure out how to do the audio puzzles if you're not particularly musical inclined and kind of tone deaf like I am. Okay, so what I'm getting from this, I think, is the general idea. Let's see. that until we get a little bit further in this, can't do anything. That is, unless you're supposed to do some kind of races. Like, this clearly feels like this is something you're supposed to fly through, and when I did fly through it, it did speed up. But yeah, unless these are achievements that I'm collecting. X to flap feels a little weird too. Then you've got these pink islands, which are these islands or are these clouds? They are clouds. Interesting. So unless the game decides to turn the clouds into islands, which would be a nice way to expand this world, there's not a lot to do right now. We've got a crab dancing around with a bunch of baby crabs around it. Yeah, this kind of feels like it could be like the sequel to the game Myst also. Riven. Riven had a island world that was all about puzzles, and the final puzzle was all built around, or one of the final puzzles was all built around the idea of sounds that you would have heard all over the place. Here we have a fox that is dead. It's just a rock through its head. So we've found 2 dead animals so far. How any animal would have survived with the worlds breaking up into floating islands is questionable. But so we gotta get some kind of ability to do something there. Let's read this. In the beginning there was the dreamer, asleep in cold eternity. She dreamed all that there is. She dreamed a veil, and behind the veil she dreamed the creator and the world, and modeled from a memory of home. The creator danced into the world, and there he breathed the clouds and sang the sun and moon into being. As he danced between the clouds, he took 4 steps, so made the lands of the north, west, south, and east. So is it north, west, south, and east? That's a counterclockwise motion, starting at north. There he formed the mountains and filled the seas with water from the clouds. And the earth and water he made animals, so the land and sea would be alive. From stardust and eternity he made gods to walk the lands and look after the world. Now, there was something interesting here. It said at the beginning, in the beginning was the dreamer. She dreamed all there is. So the dreamer is the creator of the creator. So it's like a world from a world from a world from a world, and then the creator created gods. So this is getting complicated in this fake religion. So if I go north, west, south, and east. Doesn't seem like just randomly doing that in a spot is enough. This feels like a game where you could kind of easily just maybe blow through it and miss a lot of things that are hidden. Although it's not unheard of for small indie developers or games to put in the feeling that a game has a lot more into it. The game The Witness, for example, is a great example of that. It's like, I still am not 100% sure that game is 100% found. People have found all the secrets in that game or not, but it seems like everybody has. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually less here than you would think. So there's no south here. And I don't know if this is a shrine or a temple. Read part 2. Well, if it's labeled part 2, I guess we'll start with part 1. There's a lot of reading here, and this is kind of the thing I wanted to avoid. It says IS. No, that's just northwest, southeast. It's just a compass at the top. I forgot that. My name is Aram, and I was there on the day of the Great Divine. My youngest child was ill, and I asked the spirit animals for help. When I prayed by the shrine of Ilokoyi, a terrible brightness pierced the air, and the land trembled and screamed. In terror, I took flight and watched with eagle eyes as the land broke into pieces, which crumbled and turned to dust. Geez, you prayed to the wrong god, if that's the outcome. Only one place seemed calm. I flew there and perched on it. Horror struck, it was the lighthouse. The lighthouse was surrounded by a golden shimmer that warmed this and soothed me. I saw the priestess Kara pass me by weeping. She had a lantern key, which as they make in the city of Urza, but the lantern was dead. The shimmering came from Kara herself, dwindling as I watched. She descended the lighthouse, and I saw that many spirit animals had gathered around the tower, watching. When Kara came to them, they bowed their heads and left as if at an unspoken signal. This is not natively English written, I can tell. The flow is off. Kara then looked at me. You are Aram? I know you, and we need to talk. I found my voice and asked, what has happened to the world, Kara? She was silent for a moment and then said, a great danger has gone, but also a great light. It's time we gather all who are lost so that they may find their way for our people to live in peace with the world again. Ever since then I've been flying from one broken island to another to tell the lost people that there is a new home, to lead them here, where we in time may heal again, where the youngest can regain her strength. Of course, the problem with that story is that's kind of not what happened. Like, if people are supposed to be making it to the island with the lighthouse, there's nobody there. We kind of do have a weird issue here where it feels a little bit easier to jump around and run than it does. Here's another dead animal with a rock in it. So it seems like the rocks are intentionally trying to kill all the animals. So it's an odd, I guess, omnipresent force saying that probably tried to kill me. So let's guess take flight. And if we fly through clouds, it feels like clouds might speed you up a little bit. We kind of need a little bit more silence. And now we've discovered Leafless Grove, which I see something here. So let's land and see if we can figure out what this is. I just meant to jump and apparently I transformed. Okay. So it seems like this item is a gateway that has to be opened. Like a beam of light or something is going to fly through here. Yeah, it's not just going to be me flying through it. Yeah, the A button, can we change that? Gameplay, controls, keybind, no. Yeah, I was kind of happy with the amount of controls and options on this game until I started playing it, and now I really want the flat button to be the A button because that makes a lot more logical sense. You press A to jump, you press A to transform to fly, you should press A to flap the wings. X is flapping your wings when you're in bird form, but it is also bringing out the lantern when you're not in bird form, which is a little weird. And I'm still kind of not sure. Was I supposed to be going northeast or northwest? I think I may be going the wrong direction. Yeah, let's tap X, which does seem like it kind of just shoots you forward. So let's see how far forward I can shoot myself. Here we go. That looks like something. The Creator's Shrine. So let's just jump here. It's pretty big. So I found the Creator's Shrine. That's what we were looking for, was at least one shrine to point us in a direction. Although I don't know if those white clouds are white clouds or if they're snow-capped things. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Precision of flying ability is something that feels like I'm kind of lacking. Alright, so we've got a door, and we've got this. So if I can't go here through this door, then I assume maybe this is the final shrine? Can't just push on the door. It doesn't look like there's anything else to do. And it seems like I'm just falling. I don't know if if it's intentionally having me fall or what. Let's see. So maybe I was supposed to go northwest. Just tap on the X button quite a lot. Yeah, this whole world still does feel very much like a King's Pass. Like a small demo area of a much bigger game. A game that at least at some point intended for it to have a lot more gameplay mechanics. Even if I was just like Pokemon style collecting all the sounds in this world, I think that would have been helpful. Okay, so it seems like I probably need to turn around and go back a little southwest and see if I can figure out something. The map, as it indicates things, is really only showing the lighthouse, a great tree, the crater shrine. It looks like there might be something in the far west corner. But if really all we're supposed to be doing here is going to places, and that's all this game is, I don't know how this game has any achievements at all then. And I don't understand the idea of treasures and spirit animals and adventure and things like that being thrown out by the little kid if we're not really going to deal with any of that. We haven't even really seen any ghosts. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.